Hello, uh, my name is Susanna. And my case report is about dollarization in El Salvador and its effects on post-COVID economic issues. As well, we're aware, COVID-19 has impacted everyone in every government sector around the globe. The finance sector has been one of the most impacted since governments have increased their support for health systems to be able to fight against the global pandemic. Although developed countries, such as the United States, will probably not see a long term impact on their economy after the pandemic, um, this will probably not be the case for developing countries such as El Salvador, who might take longer to fix their economy. Based on the IMF 2020 report, the Salvadorian government received an amount of $389 million from the International Monetary Fund as an aid to combat the pandemic in the country. The issue is that El Salvador already counted with a high public debt. By the end of 2019, the debt was 70.2% of the gross domestic product or GDP, and it is expected to increase by 10% by the end of 2020. So the current government must find ways to increase revenue for the country to be able to sustain their economy in the post-COVID years. Okay. In January 1st, 2001, El Salvador Congress passed the law of the monetary integration under President Francisco Flores' administration. By the end of 2002, El Salvador economy became fully dollarized. As a result of dollarization, El Salvador does not longer have monetary independence since it cannot produce its own currency and does not have control of its interest rates. Also, the economy is strongly tied to the economy of the United States, and it is the main trading partner of El Salvador, which has shown to have good results considering that the GDP of El Salvador increased by 2.4% by 2019. However, the decrease in the global market caused by the pandemic has had strong disadvantage in the economy of El Salvador. Dollarization decreased the flexibility of the government to implement policies to help boost the economy. And since it cannot change interest rate by a lot, revenues decrease. So, as previously stated, the dollar was adopted as national currency under President Flores' administration. Um, Towers and Bertsetsky 2004 argued that this was more of a political strategy rather than an economic. Flores was part of the Republican Alliance Arena, which is considered to be the party of the rich by many Salvadorians for its connection to multiple large businesses. This argument supports Friedens 2008, which states that debates over dollarization without cannot be understood um, without the role of pressures from interest groups, from mass public, and politicians concerned about their re-election. Uh, Flores' popularity has decreased by a lot among the public, and his career as a politician have been thrown in the trash, but that's another story. Now, the administration under President Nayib Bukele, he was elected to office in 2019 by the popular vote. This report does not go into detail. It does not give a detailed analysis on his administration policies. However, I will mention that he has received a lot of backlash from the conservative parties about his strong response to COVID-19. So, for Bukele's luck or bad luck, a global pandemic is happening in his second year of governance. And according to the IMF 2020 report, remittance, which are a big part of the capital inflow of the country, have decreased from 5,869 million pre-shock to 4,686 million post-shock. It is important to point out that Bukele is not part of any of the two main political parties, and Arena has the most members in the legislative body. The uneven support from the legislative body, the lower capital inflows due to the global pandemic, and the lack of flexibility to establish economic policies make it difficult for the current government to try to stabilize the country's economy. So, what plans does El Salvador have? Del Cristo and her writing partners argue that under dollarization, the interest cost might be lower, but the fiscal expenditures have to be paid in some way. As we see in the quote above, right there, they argued that a dollarized country has to come up with alternative sources, such as increasing loans and raising taxes. El Salvador plans, according to the IMF report, align with these recommendations. However, both of these options present some danger to both the already economically exhausted population and the popularity the current administration has. Because to reprioritize capital spending, the government plans to reduce the wage bill through hiring freezes or the early retirement of public employees. Um, Reducing the wage bill will result in the increase of informal economy, which is usually not taxed, therefore reducing capital inflow. Um, Introducing property tax or increasing rates of consumption tax will probably not be well accepted by the public and will affect the poor community the most. Also, El Salvador has a long history with large businesses evading taxes and implementing a stricter tax collection system will probably incentivize the rich political parties to not support the president's decision through legislative vote. So, finding a good balance might be a difficult thing for El Salvador or for the current government. However, El Salvador has enjoyed some of the benefits of adopting the dollar as its national currency. Exchange rates are strongly tied to those of the United States. And since the United States is the main trading partner of El Salvador, using the same currency benefits both countries. However, the impact of COVID-19 on the global economy will increase the public sector nation's debt of El Salvador by 10%. The government's limited policy levers will make it difficult for the government to find ways to generate revenue without sacrificing the popular image or the poor. So it will be interesting to see how this plans out in the future. However, my case reports ends here. So, thank you.